Once there was a man named Rohit who had a kind heart and always tried to help others. He had a good job, a loving family, and a small circle of friends. However, there were some people in his life who constantly brought negativity and toxicity into his life. He didn't know how to deal with them and often found himself feeling overwhelmed and stressed out. One day, Rohit decided to seek guidance from the wise sage Gautam Buddha. He had heard that Buddha had a great understanding of human nature and could offer practical solutions to life's problems. Rohit set out on a journey to meet the sage, hoping to find answers to his struggles. When Rohit arrived, he found Buddha sitting under a tree, surrounded by his disciples. Rohit approached him and asked, "O wise one, I am struggling with toxic people in my life. How do I deal with them?" Buddha smiled at him and said, "My son, toxic people are like thorns in a garden. If you focus too much on the thorns, you will miss out on the beauty of the flowers. In the same way, if you focus too much on toxic people, you will miss out on the joy of life. You need to learn how to detach yourself from their negativity." Rohit was taken aback by Buddha's response. He had expected to be given a list of things he could do to change the toxic people in his life. Instead, Buddha was telling him to change himself. He asked, "But how do I do that, wise one?" Buddha replied, "You must first understand that toxic people are often hurting themselves. They are unhappy and they try to bring others down with them. When you realize this, you can begin to feel compassion for them. When you feel compassion, you can detach yourself from their negativity." Rohit listened carefully to Buddha's words and thought about them deeply. He realized that he had been focusing too much on the negative aspects of the toxic people in his life. He had been letting their behavior affect his own happiness and well-being. He decided to take Buddha's advice and practice compassion. Over time, Rohit began to feel a sense of peace and contentment within himself. He still encountered toxic people in his life, but he no longer allowed them to affect him as deeply. He learned to detach himself from their negativity and focus on the positive aspects of life. He found that he was much happier and more fulfilled as a result. In the end, Rohit realized that the solution to his problem was not in changing the toxic people in his life, but in changing himself. He was grateful to Gautam Buddha for showing him the way and for helping him find inner peace. He continued to practice compassion and detachment, and he lived the rest of his life with joy and contentment in his heart. As Rohit continued to practice compassion and detachment, he found that his relationships with the toxic people in his life began to change. Instead of reacting to their negativity, he responded with kindness and understanding. He began to see them as human beings with their own struggles, and he tried to help them whenever he could. One day, Rohit's boss, who had been one of the most toxic people in his life, called him into his office. Rohit felt his heart racing as he entered the room. He had always felt intimidated by his boss, who was known for his sharp tongue and quick temper. To Rohit's surprise, his boss greeted him warmly and thanked him for his hard work. He even apologized for his past behavior, saying that he had been going through a difficult time in his personal life and had taken it out on his employees. Rohit was amazed at the transformation he saw in his boss. He felt grateful that he had been able to practice compassion and detachment, and that it had led to such a positive outcome. Over time, Rohit became known as a compassionate and understanding person. He was respected and admired by his colleagues and friends, who sought his advice on how to deal with difficult people in their own lives. Rohit realized that he had been able to make a positive impact on the world by changing himself. As Rohit approached the end of his life, he reflected on the lessons he had learned from Gautam Buddha. He realized that the key to happiness and fulfillment was not in changing the world, but in changing oneself. He felt grateful for the wisdom and guidance he had received, and he knew that he had lived a life of purpose and meaning. In the end, Rohit passed away peacefully, surrounded by his loved ones. His legacy lived on, not only in the memories of those who had known him, but in the positive impact he had made on the world. He had shown that it was possible to find inner peace and happiness, even in the face of toxic people and difficult circumstances. He had lived a life of compassion, and he had left the world a better place because of it. To find inner peace, focus on changing yourself, not the world. Compassion is the key to detachment from toxic people. Thorns in a garden can't be removed, but we can choose to focus on the beauty of the flowers. In a world of negativity, choose to be the light. Change your thoughts, change your world. Difficult people are often hurting themselves, so respond with kindness and understanding. You can't control how people treat you, but you can control how you respond. Compassion is not weakness, it's a sign of strength. True happiness comes from within, not from external circumstances. Forgiveness is not about forgetting, it's about letting go of the pain. The power of positivity can overcome even the strongest negativity. In every difficult situation, there is an opportunity for growth. Your attitude determines your altitude in life. The only person you can change is yourself, but that can change everything. Happiness is not a destination, it's a journey. The most important relationship you have is the one you have with yourself. When life gives you thorns, choose to bloom anyways. Kindness is the language that the deaf can hear and the blind can see. Happiness is a choice. Choose it every day. Your thoughts become your reality, so choose them wisely. The greatest power you have is the power to choose your own attitude. The road to success is paved with challenges and obstacles, but they make us stronger. Believe in yourself and you can achieve anything. Every mistake is an opportunity to learn and grow. Life is a journey, not a destination, so enjoy the ride. The best way to predict your future is to create it. You are never too old to set a new goal or dream a new dream. The only limits in life are the ones we set for ourselves. The key to success is to never give up, no matter how many times you fall down. Live each day as if it were your last, with purpose and passion.